We go through and describe the Linux boot process, booting Linux in general. In terms of unknown devices connected connected to bus, we provide the command lspci, which is essentially list anything connected to our system bus. So that includes USB devices, that includes anything connected to USB, Type C, A, B. That includes our CPU. That includes, this includes also RAM cards, anything, and any external devices that's connected to anywhere on the bus. That will list all of the PCI devices on our bus. And so any unknown devices can be easily located on our bus by running lspci. A simple example of that would be to show the lspci command in use. And we can do that very easily by, excuse me, we can do that very easily by basically showing how a simple command can be run in terminal to list our devices. lspci, forgive me, this only works in a Linux environment, so this will only run in a Linux environment. This is a MacBook, but it does not have lspci on it. But the command does work in an isolated environment nonetheless. Okay, I will go back to this, and so to go further into our boot stages, first we have a BIOS stage where we do our power on self-test, and once the system is powered on, then we start to load our BIOS, right? And so this is important because our BIOS gives us our initial startup process, right? So BIOS is the first one to be called, and to verify if the hardware is present in the machine and if it's functioning. Of course, this is done by performing power on self-test. After the test is run, the BIOS checks the master boot record in the hard drive to check if it referred to the location of the bootloader, right? And now the bootloader will be installed if the operating system is installed on the system, right? Which is right here. So we go down to bootloader. And so our bootloader has a system, has a cycle, a process it goes through to initialize, right? Now, of course, I'm familiar with Grub and bootloader. And so this particular example, bootloader, it loads the init RAM disk, which is it's kind of like a virtual file system afterwards. And this virtual root file system will the virtual file system will start up the process of using either initd or RAM file system. And of course, Linux RC is an executable file that is the next to spawn, and basically it probes the mass storage hardware and finds suitable kernel module to drive the mass storage hardware. Of course, the real root file system is now created after this kernel load, the kernel bootloader stage, and then of course our kernel stage starts up our real file system, of course, and our init process, which is process 1. And then, of course, that loads all of our system daemons services. And that's essentially in the system daemon, or to be better put, system D in this particular case is loads all of the system services one by one, so that everything is up, starting from init process 1. All right, thank you so much. I hope you understand, and I hope I did that very well. Bye-bye.